There we have two kinds of trapezoids we're going to talk about today. The first one, just a regular trapezoid. Nothing special about it really. It is a quadrilateral. What's quadrilateral mean again? Four sides. It only has one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. So everything else that we have dealt with so far has been a parallelogram where both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Trapezoid's only one pair is parallel. And how do I know which side's parallel? What do I see on my diagram? The arrows, yeah. So these two lines are parallel. Okay. Since we have parallel lines, our consecutive angles, consecutive means next to, they still add up to 180. They are still supplementary. Ooh, two P's, right? Supplementary. Add to 180. So angles that are next to each other, like these and these, add up to 180. Alright? So let's go through some examples. How can I find angle C? Is it going to be the same as something, or is it going to add up to 180? It's going to add up to 180. With what other letter? B. These two are going to add up to 180. So how big is C? 145. Angle D going to be the same as something or add up to 180? Add up to 180 with what other letter?
62.
Yeah, 62. So how big is D? 118. All right, how are we feeling so far? Fantastic. All right, what do I know about these two things labeled X? They're supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So what should I do? There we go. Add them up. 12x plus 3 plus that other angle, 7x minus 13, has to equal 180. How much total x do I have? 19x minus 10, right? Add your 10. How big is x? 10. It asks to find how big angle R is, so what do I gotta do? Plug it in. 7 times 10 minus 13, 57? Questions with trapezoids? Alright, there is a special kind of trapezoids. It's called an isosceles trapezoid. You guys remember what isosceles meant, like in triangles? Yeah, two sides are the same. So guess what? The sides that aren't parallel, we still have a pair of parallels. I don't know what happened there. Those are still parallel, but the ones that aren't parallel are, guess what? Congruent. They're equal. Our diagonals, remember those are the lines inside our shape, are also congruent. We'll start over. Base angles, kind of like when you talked about isosceles triangles, base angles are the ones opposite your sides. So when we talk about base angles, we talk about down here and up here. So if they're on the same parallel line, like if they touch the same parallel line, they're the same. Okay, and then just like before, we said that these two add up to 180, right? I don't know why that was so funny. There it is. And we know that these are the same. So if these two add up to 180 and these two are the same and these two are the same, what do you think is true about opposite angles? Are they going to be the same or are they going to add up to 180?
Add up 20.
They're going to add up to 180. So opposite angles are supplementary. So angles that are next to each other, kind of like we had regular trapezoids add up to 180, opposites add up to 180. If they are next to each other, like on the same parallel line, like these guys, they're the same. Okay. What? Is that a question? No? Okay. Alright. So it tells us we have an isosceles trapezoid. So either you have to be told it's an isosceles or you have to have these marked in order to know it's an isosceles trapezoid. Can't just assume it. Okay. We have MP. That's this guy right here is 16x minus 13. And I have NO is 9x plus 8. What do I know about those two sides? So how should I solve for x? Set them equal to each other. Perfect. 16x minus 13 equals 9x plus 8. Subtract your 9x, we get 7x. Add your 13, we get 21. Yeah? How big is x? 3. We also have PN and MO. What's true about those guys? They're congruent. Yeah, our diagonals are congruent. So how should I solve for x or for y? Sorry. Set them equal. 5y plus 19 equals 12y minus 37. Subtract your 5y. 7y. Add your 37. 56. Yeah. No. Yes, it's 56. Yeah, so how big is y? 8. Alright. And we're going to find all these missing angles. What do I know is true about the angles that are, what do I want to say? Labeled. There we go. They're equal because they're base angles. So what should I do with these two things? Set them equal. 2x plus 27 equals 5x minus 12. Subtract your 2x, 3x, add your 12, 39. X is how big? 13. So to find all of these, which ones do you want to find first? A, B, C, or D? Probably one that's labeled. That's a great idea. So like, I don't know, D? Let's find D first. How are we going to find it? Plug it in. 2 times 13 plus 27 gives me how much for D? 53. How much is C? 53. Because those are the same. Now, how am I going to find A and B? Yeah. They have to add up to 180. So 180 minus that 53. 127 you said, right? Yeah?
Yeah, 127.
Is that what you get for both of them, A and B?
Yes.
Yes, because those have to be equal as well. Alright. Questions there? There it is. mid-segment. I don't know if you remember we had a mid-segment of a triangle. But we also have mid-segments of a trapezoid. So here's what's true. If EF is the mid-segment, that means E is a midpoint. We'll do both on the same line. E and F are midpoints. Do I need to finish that of AB and BC, or is that obvious? Okay. The other thing, the math thing that we're going to use is that if you take AB plus DC and divide it by 2, so find the average of those two, that's going to equal that middle line, EF. So we're going to find the average. Kind of like if you find like average height or average, I don't know, free throw percentage, add them up, divide by 2. Seem easy enough? Okay, good talk. All right. So my outsides, 8 and 20, I'm going to add them and I get 28 and divide by 2. So to find this DG as 14. There's kind of 2 ways to solve these. If you're given the outside 2, I think it's just easiest to add them up and divide by 2. The other thing, opposite divide by 2 is times 2. So if you would rather do that this way, so like when you're given your middle number, if I double this, what do I get? So 30 has to equal 22 plus x, or you can just follow that equation from before, 22 plus x over 2 equals 15. It's the same thing, because you're still multiplying by 2, so you still get that 30. But anywho, what does that give me for x? 8. So you're just trying to find what number, so like this increase is 7, so this has to be 7. And 15 minus 7 gives us that 8. Okay, so it should be like equidistant in the middle. Does that make sense? Okay. Alright, but of course we gotta throw x's in there. So I'm gonna yep, of course. So I'm gonna take my outside 2 and add them together. So how much total x do I have? 8x, and then plus what? Plus 10. And I need to divide that by 2 to get that 25. Or like I said up here, if you want to double this, and that's what we're going to do next anyway. But however you want to set your equation, either one's fine. So when I double that 25, I get 50. Subtract my 10, which gives me what for x? Oh, it does ask for KJ though. So what do I gotta do? Plug it in. 6 times 5, 30 minus 1, 29, yeah. That's KJ. So if this is 29, that's a decrease of 4, right? So this one should be 21. It doesn't ask for that, but I just thought that was fun. Isn't that exciting? So exciting. There's another drum down here. Where's my cursor? Nope. Alright. Lastly, we got kites. If only it was nice that we would go play with kites. But it's not nice out. So maybe this springtime. Alright, here's all your properties. It tells me exactly 2 pairs of consecutive congruent sides. Consecutive means next to. The ones that are next to each other are equal. So those are equal. And these are equal. It also tells me that 1 pair of opposite angles are congruent. You guys think those are A and C or B and D? Which ones do you think are the same? B and D, those are the same. Oh, did you get that because you guessed or because you read that? Oh, I thought we were actually. Oh, so you did kind of guess. Yeah, okay, gotcha. And then diagonals are perpendicular, which means I have what kind of angles? 90. So I have 90-degree angles on the inside. So all these are 90. Alright. So if RS is 10 and RU is 9, I need to find QS. First off, I'm going to find US, because what do I know is right here?
90 degrees.
So how can I find US? Yeah, Pythagorean theorem. How am I going to set it up?
9 squared plus x squared equals 10 squared.
You thought we were done with that?
X squared plus 81 equals 100.
X squared plus 81 equals 100. Subtract our 81, we get, yeah, 19.
Yes.
Square root it. Gives me what?
4.35.
So 4.4. How do I find QS then? That's just US. If US is, if this is 4.4, how can I find QS? Double it. 8.8. You know, we got there. We got there. All good. Alright. Angles. We love angles.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Remember I have opposite angles that are congruent, and this one, it is these two that are congruent. So how big do you think angle 1 is?
46.
46. Weird. Same as that one. 1 is 46. How big's 5? 73. How big is angle 4?
90.
90. That was the easiest one. Let's do angle 3 next. What's this angle right here? 90. So how can I find angle 3?
180 minus 90 minus 46. Whoa, hey, wait.
Because we all got a bunch of right triangles here. So 90 minus 46. 44 for angle 3. Here's a 90. So don't we have the exact same thing for angle 2? Yeah. 44. But these aren't the same, right? Well, 6 and 7 will be the same, but they're not the same as 2 and 3. I have another right angle. So how do I find angle 6? 180 minus 73. Minus 90. Oops, yep. 17. Which makes angle 7 how big? That was funny. Okay, let's do both these real quick. All right. Oops. Yep, no, that's fine. Question. How big is angle B? B.
B.
109. Because I know that these two are the same. Question. Are the things labeled X the same? No, those angles are different. Guess what? Throw back the first section of this. How many degrees are in a four-sided shape? 360. Guess what we're going to do?
We're gonna add
Set
one.
it equal to 360.
Add it all up, so it equal to 360.
Big brain. Big brain.
Oh, they say good grade. So I got 8x plus 109 times 2 plus 14 plus 8 gives me.
109 times
Oh, yeah, plus 14 plus another 8.
plus 8.
Uh-huh.
240.
240. And we know that that has to add up to be 360. So 120.
240 is 140.
Is that even nice?
Don't beat that
Divided
very
by
nice.
8. It is nice. 15.
15. Woo!
We're cruising.
We are cruising, kids. Proud of you guys. This one's even easier. I don't know why I put this one second, but that's okay. What do I know is true about angle B and angle D?
Same.
They're the same. So let's just, I don't know, column X. How am I going to solve for them?
Add them up to 360.
Add them up to 360. 2x plus.
Can't you do 360 minus 85 minus
Yeah.
42 then divide by
Same deal. So she wants your 360 minus 85 minus 43. What do you get then? We subtract 116. Divide by 2 gives me how much for each of them?
Oh. It's the answer is 116.
Oh, I should have realized that. So what'd you get? 232?
Yeah.
Divided by 2 is 116. And then we said these are equal, so they are each 116. Alright. Questions? Are squares still our favorite shape?